So in the last class, what we discussed, what is the computer language, and second one, what is the need of computer language. These two things we discussed, and today our discussion is why Java or .NET instead of C and C++. So what is the reason why we are learning Java or .NET instead of C and C++ languages? C and C++ also languages. Then why? The reason, observe. C and C++ languages are platform dependent languages. Sir, what is a platform and what is dependency? What is a platform? Platform is nothing but operating system. Platform is nothing but operating system. These are operating system dependent. So using a platform dependent language, using a platform dependent language, we can develop only standalone applications. Only standalone applications. Again, what is standalone? What is standalone? Simple. Two things. One is compatible to operating system. Nothing but dependent to operating system. Next one, must be installed on the machine. If you see some examples, then you will get the more clarity. And see the examples. What are the examples? For example, I want to save my data in the form of a document. Generally we are using MS Office software. MS Office we have to install in our computer. MS Office we have to install in our computer. That is, installation is mandatory. And second one, whenever we are downloading MS Office from Google, clearly we have to specify searching will be like this. Searching in Google will be like this. How? I need MS Office software. So how we need to download MS Office for Windows operating system or Office software for Linux operating system or Office software for Mac operating system. So means what? The operating means what? That software is a dependent, nothing but is compatible for single operating system. So why the reason? Operating system understands only a specific type of extension. Just consider, if you take Windows operating system, Windows operating system understands only .exe file. Extension is a .exe. Suppose if it is a Mac operating system, it understands extensions .dmg extension. And next one, Suppose if it is a Linux operating system, it understands only either tar file or .rpm file. So file extensions are very, very important. Just simple example, suppose I have a PDF. Can I open using VLC media player? Impossible case. Suppose I have one MP4 file, MP4, I have one video file. Can I open using MS Office? No, not possible. In the same way, I have one .c program. I mean C file I have. Can I open that .c by using PDF software? No, it's not possible. So means what? Depends on extension of the file only. Extensions are very, very important. Depends on extension of the file only. The corresponding software can recognize and and executes that software, right? So in the same way, whenever we are downloading MS Office also, just first we need to check compatibility. Suppose I'm using Windows operating system here. I'm downloading MS Office. So many examples for standalone applications. For example, same as usual, VLC player. For example, Photoshop, and all these means what? What are the softwares we are installing in our computer? Such type of applications are called standalone applications, which are compatible for a single operating system. I downloaded MS Office.exe. I have downloaded because I am using Windows operating system. So that's why I downloaded. I installed and I work with it. My friend is using Mac operating system, nothing but Apple computer. My friend is using. Can I share that file msoffice.exe? No. Whenever we are trying to install, right, that operating system will reject. I can't recognize what is this, right? So please go for another software. Such type of errors we will get. Such type of errors. So C and C++ languages are platform dependent languages. Platform dependent languages. Platform is nothing but operating system dependent languages. So using such type of languages, we can develop only standalone application. Standalone application is compatible for single operating system and installation is required on the machine. If we don't install, then we cannot work with that software. We must install. For example, MS Office, some players, Photoshop, Tally, and so many we have. Maker and all these comes under standalone applications. Why? Every operating system recognizes a specific type of extension. Windows, for example, understands only .exe format. Mac operating system understands only .dlg format. Linux operating system understands only tar or RPM format. Practically, I'll show you all these things in the website, how we need to download, how can we check and all these things while downloading JDK kit. Don't worry. Okay. So this is the main problem with the C and the C++ languages. That's why, that is the reason why we are using, Java and .NET. Java, Java and .NET are platform independent languages. So using platform independent languages, we can develop web applications. Web applications. So what are the web applications? Again, two things. No need to install on the machine, and second one is independent to operating system. Simple example. Simple example. I want to work with a Facebook, or I want to send a mail to my friend. Generally, we are using Gmail. Right? If you want to work with either Gmail or Facebook, is it necessary to install that software in our computer? No, not required. No need to install. Then where they will install? One server system they will maintain. One server system. Sir, what is a server system? Not much is there. It's a high configuration computer. That's it. It's a high configuration computer. Means what? Generally, for our home purpose or for office purpose, so we are using computers that is low configuration. For example, 500 GB hard disk, 2 GB RAM or 4 GB RAM, right? A processor, general processors we are using. But in case of server thousands of TBs data they will maintain, terabytes of data they will maintain, and processing also high-end processors they will use, and RAM also not 2 GB, 4 GB, 200 GB, 400 GB RAMs they will use for server system. That is also one computer. How can you say that? Means whenever we are learning advanced Java, in our laptop only we will install one server software, because to run web application definitely we have to maintain servers, but a student cannot maintain 3 systems or 4 systems to practice server systems and all those are. So in our computer only, in our laptop only, we will install one server software, a Tomcat server, Glassfish, JBoss, WebLogic, so many servers we have. We will install one server software. Then our computer is working like a server to run the web application. So remember, server is nothing but one computer, just like general computer. Okay. So using that server, we can run that application. Inside that application, on inside that server only, they will deploy gmail.com, or for example fb.com. They will install. Installation is nothing but deployment, is a technical term. Web application installation inside the server is nothing but deployment, whether they deployed or not. So like that we have to say, we have to ask deployment. Okay. And next, see here, suppose number of persons are there, and here this is my computer, and I'm using Windows operating system, or just consider I'm using Linux operating system, and I already connected to the network. Consider is a network connection. This is network connection. And next one, I have three friends. I have three friends. My friends using mobiles nowadays. One of my friend is using Samsung mobile. one of my friend is using Samsung mobile, and here it is nowadays. So what is the operating system of Samsung mobile is Android, and one more friend is using iPhone, Apple. And what is the operating system for Apple? Mac. Nothing but simply iOS operating system. And one more friend is using Nokia mobile. So Nokia Lumia, for example, is a Windows, and they open their data. So means what? Nothing but from their mobiles, they are also connected to network. So now from all the systems, we can work with all these things, Gmail and as well as FB, Gmail and FB, right? So what is the reason? Because these applications, Gmail application and FB application, we can run from any platform, right? For example, the three persons want to chat each other from their mobiles. Yes, they can perform through a single application, and no need to install on their mobiles, right? Just if they're having browser, by using the browser, they can open fb.com and they can interact. So to run that application, whatever the information is required, how they collect? Through the network connection, they will collect through the network connection. Suppose if they are in offline mode, then they cannot interact with each other. Network connection is very, very important. But in case of standalone application, just consider, so take one mobile, like for example, so this is the mobile, this is Android, and here on the Android mobile, I want to install a game, for example, Candy Crush game I want to install, or any other game, for example, Subway Surfers, right? Two games I have installed, and to run these games, for example, these two games developed by using Java language, by using Java language. Consider these games these games developed developed using Java. And remember, if you want to run these two games, Java software is very, very important. And of course, Android by default supports Java, because Android completely developed in Java language only. So that's why. For example, the software is not there. Whenever we are going to purchase a mobile, they will give, this is Java supported mobile. If you are interested, you can buy this mobile. So what is a Java supported mobile? Sir, can we develop applications using that mobile? No. We can't write the Java programs and we cannot compile and run. But we can execute, yes, we can run that applications. Java applications we can run. So these are the Java applications. One is the Candy Crush, second one is the Subway Surfers. These are the Java applications that we can run. Sir, suppose in my mobile Java software is not there, then how can I run these two games? Right, from the Play Store, whenever we are downloading these two games and installing Candy Crush, in the middle, while installation, it will ask one question. So what is the question it will ask? Java is not preloaded in your mobile. Java is not yet installed in your mobile. Allow me to install Java first. Definitely, we have to click on OK button only. No second option we have. Why? If you want to run that Candy Crush game, Java software is important. If you don't install Java software in your mobile, then after installation of Candy Crush, it will not open. No use with that. For example, you have one video, one movie you have. You copied one movie from your friend. Your friend given one movie in the pen drive. Okay. So I want to play that movie. What is required? Media player is required. Some VLC media player or Windows media player. Players are required. If player is not there, what is the use of that movie? Can you watch the movie? No. In the same way, to run one application, to run one software, another software is important. To play the movie, how media players are important. To work with a Candy Crush game, we need to install Java, right? But see, once you downloaded, what is that Java software you have installed in your mobile? Candy Crush game also you have installed in your mobile. You are in offline mode, no network connection. After installation, can we play the game? Yes, we can play the game. We can play the game. So what is the reason why we can play? Because everything is in your mobile only, right? The game is also in your mobile, right? Along with the game, the software which is used to run the game also in your mobile. So that's why, right? Though we are in offline mode also, still we can work with that game. We can work with that game. That is the case. Okay. Remember one thing. Standalone applications means what? Everything we need to install in our computer only. I'll conclude. If it is a standalone application, right? Everything, nothing but softwares to run the application must be installed in our machine only, in our computer or mobile, whatever it is, in our machine only. In offline mode also, no network connection. In offline mode also, we can run. In offline mode also, we can run. And next one. If it is a web application, installation is not required. Installation is not required, but we have to maintain network connection. We have to maintain network connection, right? We have to maintain network connection. These two important. Next, one more important thing is one more. Suppose take these languages: C language, C++, Java, .NET Core. Suppose if you want to develop one C application, C software we have to install. In the same way, if you want to develop one Java application, Java software also you have to install, right? All these are predefined applications, pre-developed apps, applications. And one more thing, all these are standalone applications, standalone apps. What is the meaning? Compatible for single operating system, right? So what is that? Suppose if I'm using Windows operating system, java.exe you have to download. If I'm using Mac operating system, java.dmz file I have to download. Suppose if I'm using Linux operating system, java.rpm file, java.rpm file. So depends on the operating system we are using. Depends on the operating system we are using, right? We need to download the corresponding software. Java.exe, java.rpm, java.dmz. So nothing but this is compatible or not? It's a compatible. So that's why we can call it as a standalone application. Here our discussion is not about a C, C++, Java.NET because the application is already ready. But by using these languages, what type of applications we can develop? That is our discussion. That is our discussion. Using C and C++ languages, using C and C++ languages, once again, we can develop only standalone applications. We can develop only standalone applications. We can develop only standalone applications. But here in case of Java and .NET, in case of Java and .NET, as these are platform independent languages, we can develop both standalone applications and as well as web applications. Standalone applications and web applications. Reason simple. C and C++ are platform dependent. Platform dependent. Java and .NET are platform independent. Platform independent. Just don't confuse simple things. Here what we are learning, what we are developing means what? Here what is our discussion? We are not here to develop C language. We are not here to develop Java language. Those are already ready. C language is given by Dennis Ritchie. Java language is given by James Gosling. History will discuss later. Applications already ready. But here, what is our concept? Using C and Java, what type of applications we can develop? That is our concept. What type of applications we can develop? So first of all these are standalone applications only. So installation is important, whatever the language it is, either C, C++, Java, .NET, PHP, anything, anything, right? But what type of applications we can develop? As these two languages are platform dependent, we can develop only standalone applications. And as these are platform independent, both we can develop. Standalone applications we can develop as well as web applications we can develop. Web applications. Okay. That's it. And this is important concept. Remember, all the languages are standalone, but using C and C++, we can develop once again standalone. But using Java and .NET, two types of applications we can develop. Standalone applications and web applications. Why the reason and all these things we'll see. Slowly you will understand. While writing the programs practically, I'll show you. Right? Next. Next one. Just a simple discussion about Java versus .NET, and these two are independent languages only. Then which is better, Java or .NET? Simple thing. Remember, learning Java is 99% is equals to learning .NET. Almost same. So what is that 1% simple difference is, Oracle is coming from Oracle Corporation, I mean Java is coming from Oracle Corporation, Oracle, and .NET is coming from Microsoft company. Two products, two softwares from two different organizations, except that everything is the same. Except that everything, Java and .NET, both are same. But some of the disadvantages are there in a .NET. The main disadvantage is .NET software is not open source, not an open source. But Java software is a open source. Sir, what is open source? What is open source technology? What is open source and what is not an open source? Means open source means what? At a free of cost, you can work with the software at free of cost. No need to pay 1 rupee to the company. For example, right, I want to establish one company, a small company I want to establish. Small company with a 200 employees. With a 200 employees. So for these 200 employees to develop the application, at least 200 computers I have to maintain in my company. 200. But see, for this thing, to maintain these things, right, we need to pay some amount. Why? What is the reason? I want to develop one application using .NET language. I need to develop application using .NET language from my computer. I want to release one product. Then how much I have to invest? Observe. Actually, to establish the company, much we have to invest, right? To buy the computers and all those things. Along with that, for softwares also. For example, .NET .NET cost is 5,000 rupees. 5,000 rupees. And one more problem is .NET is compatible for Windows operating system only. Windows means what? We cannot install .NET on Linux. We cannot install .NET on Mac. You must use Windows operating system only. So if you want to use a .NET, we need to use a Windows also. Problem is Windows also not an open source. The cost is 8,000 rupees. 8,000. Windows is not an open source. Again, same problem. Windows is not an open source. That's it. So I have to invest. I have to invest extra money in my company. How much? 200 systems I have to maintain. 200 into 5,000. 200 into 5,000 for .NET software. 200 into 8,000 for operating system. This much money I have to invest only to work with the softwares. That is the main problem with such type of softwares. So that's why most of the small organizations not use like Infosys, IBM, TCS, they will maintain standards, nothing but operating systems they will maintain, and all these softwares they will maintain. They can purchase for their employees. But small companies, they will depends on open source only. For example, Java, if you consider, Java is compatible for different operating systems. What are the operating systems? See, Java we can install on Windows operating system, and Java we can install on Linux operating system. Java we can install on Mac operating system. And here Linux operating system is once again open source. Once again open source. So observe, in my company, in my company, in my company, suppose I'll go for Java, and to run Java software, suppose I'm using Linux operating system, because Java is a free, and as well as Linux is also free. In this case, we can save this amount, 200 into 5,000 and 200 into 8,000 rupees I can save in my company. In my company I can save. So that's why most of the small organizations depends on open source technologies only. So that's why, so as a fresher means what, if any experienced person who is working for any company want to suggest any fresher, right, the person will give the suggestion like this. uh, what you are learning, sir, I'm learning Java or C++, I'm learning parallelly. It is better to learn Linux operating system also. You should have the knowledge of Linux operating system. That is very, very important. Why? The simple reason, they know all these things, but they will not reveal all these things. They will let you know, right? So means what? Most of the companies using Linux operating systems, are why they are using Linux operating system? It is bit difficult, na, using Linux instead of Windows. Yes, but it is at a free of cost, right? So then you have to learn. That's why Linux operating system also important. Most of the companies, some huge organizations also, in some of the cases, they depends on Linux operating system only. Linux, that much important, because that is open source technology. Java is open source, and the Linux operating system is also open source technology. Okay, so this is only the reason. Except that, learning Java language and learning .NET language almost equal. Both are same, almost same. Okay, that's it.